In 1911, the world thought John D. Rockefeller was finished. The United States Supreme Court had just handed down a death sentence to Standard Oil. They ordered the octopus to be cut into 34 bleeding pieces. The public cheered. The politicians celebrated. They thought they had killed the beast. But here is the cipher. Rockefeller didn't panic. He sat in his garden and smiled. Because he knew something the world didn't. He knew that 34 parts of a monopoly are worth far more than the whole. As his company was destroyed, his personal wealth doubled, then tripled. He didn't just survive the law, he used the law to become the richest man to ever walk the earth. Today, we uncover the ultimate plot twist in the history of wealth, and how Rockefeller used his billions to perform the greatest PR stunt in human history, the Philanthropy Mask. When Standard Oil was broken up, it didn't disappear, it transformed. Those 34 pieces became companies you know today: ExxonMobil, Chevron, Amoco, and BP. Rockefeller still owned massive shares in every single one of them. While the government thought they were creating competition, they were actually creating a more efficient, multi-headed monster. This is the fragmented control strategy. In the modern world, look at the major investment firms like BlackRock or Vanguard. They don't own one company. They own a slice of every company. They are the silent shareholders of the entire world. Rockefeller realized that if you own 10% of 100 companies, you are far more powerful and far more invisible than if you own 100% of one. Before Rockefeller, the word billionaire didn't exist. He reached that milestone as his empire was being dismantled. But with that kind of money came a new kind of danger: the hatred of the masses. In 1914, the Ludlow massacre occurred, a bloody strike at a Rockefeller-owned mine where women and children were killed. The Rockefeller name became synonymous with death. He had to change. Not because his heart softened, but because his empire required social license to survive. This is where he hired Ivy Lee, the father of modern PR. The strategy was simple. Stop being the robber baron and start being the grandfather of humanity. He began carrying around bags of shiny new dimes, handing them out to poor children on the street. It was a cheap price to pay for a new soul. This is the part they don't teach you in school. In 1913, Rockefeller established the Rockefeller Foundation. On the surface, it was about general welfare. But underneath, it was the greatest tax avoidance and social engineering tool ever created. By moving his wealth into a non-profit foundation, he kept it out of the hands of the government while still maintaining control over how that money was spent. He didn't just give money away, he invested it into systems, education, medicine, and public health. By funding the universities, he controlled the curriculum. By funding the medical boards, he shifted the world toward pharmaceutical-based medicine, which, coincidentally, was derived from petroleum chemicals. He realized that if you control the knowledge of a society, you don't need to control their bodies. This is the philanthropy mask that modern billionaires like Bill Gates and George Soros use today. It's not about charity, it's about governance without representation. Rockefeller died in 1937, but his cipher lived on. He taught his children that power is a secret you keep from the world. The family withdrew from the public eye, moving their wealth into thousands of trusts and offshore accounts. Today, the Rockefeller name doesn't appear on the Forbes rich list. Do not be fooled. Real wealth doesn't want to be listed. Real wealth wants to be invisible. The lesson of part 3 is simple. When the world tries to break you, use that friction to expand. Rockefeller didn't fight the breakup, he leveraged it. He didn't fight the public hatred, he engineered a new image. In your own life, when you face a setback, don't look for a way back to the old version of you. Look for the 34 pieces you can create from the ruins. Comment the word alchemist if you are ready to turn your setbacks into empires. In part 4, we will look at the new Rockefellers, the architects of the digital age, and how the game of control has moved from the oil pipes to the neural networks of your brain. Subscribe to stay sovereign.